We're shedding our masks and breaking down walls. Hell, we may even drop our drawers. That's right. We're going commando with Angela and Dana. Hi, my name is Dana Sardano, and this is Angela DeMarco, and we are going commando. Going commando is a show that we put together because we just we see a need, especially in the days that we're living in. We see a need for authenticity, a need for just breaking down the walls and dropping the masks and being who you are and celebrating that, regardless of the naysayers. And we do that regardless of the naysayers. And we hope by doing so, we encourage you to do the same. So thank you for joining us. Good morning, Miss Angela DeMarco.
Good morning, Dana. I love your shirt.
I was going to say, I like my shirt.
I love your shirt. I went to go see Pearl Jam 2 weeks ago, and Dana got a tee. Dana, I went to Vegas, and all I got was this damn t-shirt.
Yeah. Pearl Jam in the house.
It looks really good. Red Mosquito. It's such a good shirt. Okay, so anyway, hi, good morning.
So Angela and I, we did, a solid 40 minutes of shoot the shit. So I don't know what we're going to have to say here.
Sorry.
But I do have something that I want to share. I'm going total infomercial that I didn't even mention this to you, Angela, because I was like, I want to share on camera. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anybody who has ever had their hair highlighted or dyed, you know what I mean? You have to go like every 6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or not, excuse me, every 6 weeks. Otherwise, otherwise you get the line, right? And so what I usually do, because I'm like, every 6 months I get a pedicure because I'm worth it. Every every 4 to 6 months I get my hair cut or whatever it is. I'm like really lazy about these things. And so what I usually do is I get the box, I dye like my roots. And then when I go, I have all these, different levels of different hair colors. So I saw this thing. I bought I tried getting once with the spray, you know what I mean? Like to fill in the roots so it's not permanent. So I saw this thing, this powder, and I want to show you something. Yeah. So check this out. You ready?
What?
Okay, watch. Did you see?
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. And I was very excited. Look. So now I could show up 6 months from now when I go see her.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I know. That's why I'm sharing. Amazon needs to give me some sort of props. Wait. One more.
Wait a minute. Seriously?
Yeah. Check it out. So now I don't have to shower for 3-4 days. I just cover this shit up. Oh my God. You don't understand. When I go off the grid, I'm buying stock in this shit. Okay.
What the hell? When you go off grid, I don't think you're going to worry about the highlights, dude.
I know.
Who's looking besides Rob and the goats? All right. What is the name of it?
Volluck, Volluck, root touch-up powder. What I love about it is it came with like this little brush, just like a little thing like that you would like do, like this little brush. And I'm like, I'm going to be here for days. And then I accidentally unscrewed it. And I was like, oh, it's on.
That is actually really cool. That's really cool. Yep.
So that's my share for the day.
If you guys want to sponsor Going Commando, this is where it's at.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. So as we're talking,
and I'm worth it.
I got this new super duper camera. So now like when my face before was like flawless, now I'm like starting to see what I really look like. So as I'm talking, I'm like, oh, that's orange. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that right now. So this is on deck for like when I'm ready.
Stop it. That's really cool, dude. Yeah, all right. I appreciate you sharing. These things are, these things are important because getting highlights is expensive and it's a pain in the ass.
It's a pain. Yes. So it's all day. It's all day. And you know me, I mean, I have no self-control. So I'm doing therapy for my hairdresser. I'm doing therapy for the other chick that's sitting there getting her highlights done. Guy's emptying the garbage cans. I'm doing therapy on him. I need to reel it in. So.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. That's very, very cool. God. We'll put up the product. So it's on Amazon apparently. And we could all use something like that, I guess. So awesome. All right. So Dana's highlights look fucking banging. Nice. Bangin'. Very good. We covered Pearl Jam t-shirt. Very good. I think that's cool. I think we could like roll right into why we're here because there's a lot to talk about, right? With our our throat chakra, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us and dealing with our antics. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for showing up.
Okay. Let's do this. Okay.
Before we get into it, I just have to say, last Thursday, whenever we shot our episode, I broke my toe, and this morning I think I re-broke it. So I'm a little. And I also had I had a fucking huge epiphany this weekend. So I'm all like fleshy and so we'll talk about that. So forgive me for not being my usual charming self. Okay, so we're in season 6. We're talking about, it's all about balance. And balance is when things are kind of aligned and you're feeling like in the groove and you're just going with the flow of life. And it's very hard. This morning I was not in balance. I banged my toe because I was running late. So it's really fantastic. We've been talking about all of the chakras. And Dana has a book called Veda Finds Her Crown. And if this is the first time you're kind of catching us, the book is really sweet. It's a sweet story of these little characters. Each one is a characterization of a chakra, and they represent the chakras, and they go through this little adventure. And it's a short story that resonates with children, 10 to, adults, going through. But it's really, really great for kids who kind of are sorting out feelings and trying to work on their identity and going through their own traumas. The book is fantastic. It's available on phenom-publishing.com. And it's got this really great workbook in the back, which is kind of like how we're shaping these episodes of this season. So we're spending 2 episodes per chakra. The first episode talks about what it is, where it's located, all of the practicality of it, and what it looks like when it's imbalanced in your life. And then the second one is okay, how do we rectify those imbalances and get that stuff flowing beautifully and all that good stuff. So Dana's taken us through with all of her wisdom and knowledge and awesomeness. And this work, I can't tell you how much it changes my life. And every time I have a revelation, an awareness, and it's on the daily, and sometimes it's a doozy. I personally punched my own twat this weekend severely, but I am going to be I'm stronger, better, more aligned, all that good stuff for it. So this work is no joke, and it is for the excavators. It is for the adventurers. It is for the people who want to live life of contentment, joy. My words are failing me. So I'm going to turn over to you, Dana.
So before I get into the throat chakra stuff, and I will not get too much into detail because even though we're way out there, Commando, it's not for me to air your business. But the thing that I have so much respect for you is, and I'm going to speak about you right now, about Angela.
I'll be over here.
Yeah. Camera 1, camera 2. So here's the thing, we all, those of us who have an awareness that there is work to do on ourselves, and there's often imbalances that we could bring back into balance. We're always on alert. Sometimes, there's only so much healing you could do, but we're always on alert. If something isn't functioning as well as I'd like it to be in my exterior world, it's not that I have to do this healing journey, but I got to take a look and see what I need to bring back into balance so that can function properly, right? And with you, there was something in your exterior world that wasn't functioning as well as you'd like.
That's an understatement. We'll keep it at that, but
I was being polite. But there was something in her exterior world. So Angela's okay, let me find the source of this. And when she opened that closet door and all of the tennis equipment flew out and all of the crib, her brother's crib for 1978, that flew out and all of the old stuff flew out. She was first she was fuck. And then she was okay, let's sort this out. And she was wait a minute. There was this. And then she found the commonality. And the commonality is I'm always fearful to ask to get my needs met because when I do, it comes with consequences. Because when I do, I'm made to feel shameful for getting what I want. And then she was able to go, oh, it's everywhere.
Sixth sense.
Everywhere. Right? Sixth sense. Oh my God, I'm dead. Right? Oh my God.
Yeah, I see dead people everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's insane. And this is really the point that I'm trying to make in everything I do, in everything I write, in everything I do, in everything I do. I'm always trying to make the point that our beliefs shape our reality. What we believe is what we experience always. But if we're not taking the time to evaluate our beliefs, then we don't know that we're creating this. And then we feel victimized and we feel like the world is out to get us. And because Angela does this work with such conviction and such commitment, she is going, okay, this isn't functioning. Let me look at this. And the shit that she uncovers is not always pretty, but at the end of the day, unless you're willing to look at it, you're not able to reconcile. Are you like on your phone while I'm talking?
No, because I think this is interesting because I think people might say like, how do you do the work, right? So
okay, I just put my hair behind my ears, by the way, and I saw how great my roots. Like, yeah, okay, so go ahead.
No. And I appreciate that, but I want to help you guys like understand what my process was because this was like super, super, super helpful long time. So I had this revelation that there's this issue, and it opened up this like Pandora's box essentially. And then I started writing like, oh, I'm going to go over here so you can't see, but I started writing. Yeah. I started writing all these instances where I was like, sixth sense, like, oh my God, there it was. And then, like Dana said, like I came to the commonality, like what was the thread that was all of it? And none of this is about victimhood. None of this is about like feel bad for me. All of this was I would express my needs. Yeah, let me read it. So I kind of like did a little summation. This is all on my phone at 4:30 in the morning on Saturday night. All consequences were in alignment with my actions and intentions at the time. Everything that happened was for my greatest good. Like, okay, so I couldn't move there, but this came out of it. Like, it's not focusing on the outcomes why the lesson was there. It's focusing on what the catalyst was. But I'm analyzing where the catalysts were for those consequences and seeing a pattern. I express a need or desire or take action for something I want. I experience a consequence from it. So what's the inherent belief? And this is Dana's 10 Rex work, by the way. I was like having an intuitive guidance session with Dana while she was sleeping. My needs don't matter. If I try to get my needs met, I suffer repercussions. Therefore, deserving coping mechanisms are, I do not express my needs for fear of repercussions. I am not truly at times in tune with my needs or desires, and I stuff them down. I lack worthiness to have my needs met without feeling the need to be reciprocal. I have to fight to have my needs met as there's always resistance. What's important to me is insignificant. These are all the beliefs that I carried that I didn't even realize I carried. My wanting to be happy is selfish. I am not worthy of unconditional love and affection. I carry guilt and shame from my past and for not having my family and childhood friends in my life. And many of those things I have been working on, like I'm very aware of those things. And I'm on like the other side of a lot of them, but I'm staying focused in those catalysts, in that belief where the origination of the belief came from, so that now I can be aware when I'm doing them in real life, in real time.
It's fucking awesome. That's awesome.
I wouldn't know to do this if it weren't for you, dude. I know, seriously. I was like,
you're birthing this baby. I just, on the heels of what you're saying, because again, I know that we're supposed to be talking throat chakra, but this is so important, and only because I know what
but it's also relative to the throat chakra, because this is me being able to express 100%. Everything. This is like, yes, it's a lot of sacral, it's a lot of root is the cause of this, like where it's at, but being able to be honest with myself, to be able to look at this self with clarity is because my throat chakra is so like,
But I tell you, 100%. And one of the things, every time, you get me on the whole chakra thing, every time I get to talk chakras, I always go back to your first three, your foundation, your root, your sacral, your solar plexus affects your heart. Your root, your sacral, your solar plexus affects your throat. Your root, so every time, people could be having issues with their throat chakra, but where does it come from? Oh, the blah, blah, and the root, the blah, blah, and the sacral. But just on the heels of what you were saying, I did this one thing in 10 Rex. By now. But I did this one thing in 10 Rex about, I say my childhood belief that my needs do not matter. Now I talk about why did my needs not matter? Well, my brother and my mother and all that stuff doesn't matter, but my needs do not matter. And I went through 10 patterns that I kept seeing in my life. And I'm just going to read a few. I'm not going to go through the whole 10, but it's amazing. If you could identify one belief, just one, my needs do not matter. I'm not worthy. There's always consequence trying to get my needs met. Whatever that need is, check this out. Continued pattern of always putting other people's needs first. Continued pattern of always getting the short end of the stick. Continued pattern of attracting takers, always feeling like my kindness was taken for granted. Continued pattern of overcompensating for people when they're not meeting my needs. Continued pattern of disappointment and despair in inequitable relationships. That's just 5 of them. That's just 5 of them. The last one, continued pattern of continuing relationships that no longer serve me because even though I feel taken for granted, this makes me feel uncomfortable. It is a feeling I recognize, so I stay. Anybody can relate?
Mm-hmm.
You in the back?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, really crazy when we come to accept, we come to realize that everything in our existence is a result of a belief that we have about ourselves. And either that belief serves us or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, tracing it back. And the fact that you're doing all that work this weekend, it's awesome. Okay, the throat chakra. So last week we talked about the throat chakra, the age of resonance and the color and the blah, blah, and all these things about the throat chakra. I think we should just go right into, just because we're telling people what to do. Mm-hmm. Now, what questions can they ask themselves? You cool with that? I got them all up here.
Do it.
Okay. So I got a handful of categories. I've got self-respect and boundaries, honesty, integrity, authenticity, and communication. Like those are the big ones. Mm-hmm. So some questions that we could ask ourselves. So the self-respect and boundaries, I'm just going to do that clump and we'll talk about it. Okay. Do I set proper, I'm going to try it in English this time. Do I set proper boundaries with others? Do I set proper boundaries with myself? Do I adjust my boundaries when I grow out of the old ones? Do I respect others' boundaries? And this is a big one. Do I address those who breach my boundaries? It's not enough to make the reservation. You have to hold the reservation, Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So,
I knew that one.
Yeah.
No, I think, the you and I, the setting the boundaries, we're getting that on lock, right? But it is definitely being able to discuss when boundaries are breached is a tough one, because holding the boundary is one thing. I had a boundary with my brother, right? I set the boundary. And then when it came time to like the people trying to break that boundary or to I had to make a choice. Do I speak about it? Do I say this is bullshit? Or do I just go, okay, yeah, we'll just walk around that giant elephant in the room, and when I made that choice, consequence, it was Chernobyl.
Yeah.
But I had to accept that I was being true to myself and not allowing that to not allowing the fear of the consequence to not me stand in my integrity.
Yeah. And that fear of the consequence, again, comes from, the imbalanced previous chakras, because we've learned, these are all learned behaviors. When I do this, my hand gets smacked. When I do this, my hand gets smacked. My entire life, I had some sort of, I don't realize this till hindsight, it's a beautiful thing. But I always had this understanding that if I held my mother accountable for anything, if I set a boundary with my mother, that there was consequence. I didn't do it a lot when I was a kid, but I always understood that it wasn't okay. I always carried some sort of guilt and shame anytime I was around my mother, like I was responsible for the woes of the world. It wasn't anything conscious. It was just a feeling I always had. And when I said to my mother 3 months before I got married, because she said something that was like enough. And I said, you owe me an apology. And shit hit the fan. Oh my God. Not only did she not come to my wedding, she did not come to my shower. She changed the address on her, my, whatever. I'm getting the whole list. But, she sicked my brother on me. It was like a whole thing. But it was but she confirmed what I had believed. But I had a sense of worthiness at the point where I said, you owe me an apology, that I was willing to accept the potential consequence that I knew that was there. So my ability to set a boundary, my ability to exercise my throat chakra came from a strong solar plexus chakra. Yeah. Right? The strength of my identity, the sense of empowerment. So that's that. They're all linked. Okay. Honesty.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
Honesty is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Billy.
That's a line. That's a line.
Was
right?
that even correct? I always wonder.
No. So correct. But I never really, because you heard the song as a kid, I never really broke it down. Everyone is so untrue. Honesty is a lonely word. Like I'm sitting here, you're sitting here trying to be as honest and authentic as we could be. And we're like, why do we have no friends? Nobody likes me. It's lonely. Okay, honesty. Am I being honest with others? Am I being honest with myself? What lies do I tell myself? What am I protecting? What am I afraid of?
Oh, those are good questions.
I know,
Those
dude.
are good questions. You know what? And I think you and I like have all that on lock pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're truly like,
because
like
we want this. We know we'll feel better if we're honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
It's hard to be, we tell ourselves lies.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when there are people in our lives that we know are lying to themselves. They're looking at it. It is so freaking hard because we know that we're being honest with ourselves, even when it's really uncomfortable, even when it's really hard. And we're just like, want to be like, look, go. No one's need you to go. You can go there. You can go there. Just do it yourself. But like, it's just so hard to watch.
But you got to be ready, man. You got to be ready because I know, I mean, I could look at all the times in my life where I ignored it. And that's what I talk about in 10 Recs about the twat punches. We always have opportunities to look at it, but we may not be ready. We may not be ready. So it gets a little bit more difficult. You know, you and I, we have become really willing to look. I've become more willing to look now than I ever had been in my life. So when I see other people not have that willingness, I want to fix it, but it's not for us to fix because everybody's got their own speed, their own readiness, their own willingness. But if you ask yourself, if you really want to make the changes in your life and you ask yourself, all right, what lies am I telling myself?
Yeah, just start there. Just pick one. Just pick one. Like, you know, my husband snoring really doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, like just pick one. Pick one lie that you are living with that you're telling yourself and just see how it unravels.
Oh my God. It's like pulling the string of the sweater and you pull it and all of a sudden you're like, why am I naked?
But you're like, but that sweater was really itchy.
Oh my God, it's so breezy. This is so nice.
Yeah, seriously, do it. Unravel the sweater.
Okay, you ready? It's going to be like a 90-minute episode. Okay. Integrity. Do my words match my deeds? Am I hiding from something within? Am I the person that I portray myself to be? Do I portray myself favorably, but mentally beat myself up?
That's the biggie. That's a real biggie. That's a biggie. Yeah. And this one's actually a really hard one because if you can't be honest with yourself, you think yes, she did.
Sorry, go ahead.
Just reliving. Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You can.
Excuse me. While you get it together, I missed a spot. I'm gonna get it. Off the fucking rails. All right, go ahead.
Okay. If you cannot be honest with yourself, you may think that you're acting with integrity. You may think, and it's one of those things that you just don't know, but you don't know until you know, right? So it's not like I don't think anybody intends to not act with integrity. You know, I can go back to
that's not true. There are people that are looking to screw you, but for the most part, people who are.
If you're watching our show, you're not one of those people.
Yeah. You make a good point.
Right? I mean, if you're putting up with our antics.
All right, continue. My apologies.
But I just, it's one of those things that like I didn't realize when, you know, that I held back from asking to have my needs met with other people that I trust. I didn't realize that I was really doing that because you just don't know till you know. So if you feel like you're acting with integrity and you're out there, but you're beating yourself up in your brain, that's definitely something to look at.
Yeah. Yeah. And this all could be very, very daunting, especially the way we're throwing it at you. But here's how you know. If everything in your life feels good and you feel peace and you feel freedom and you're happy and you're enjoying life, and fuck it, just enjoy your life. But when something pops up that is uncomfortable, it's easy, rec two, to become entrenched in our emotions. It's easy to become entrenched in our emotions. But if we stop and say, why am I getting that ick? What the trigger? Like, why is this happening? That's when we start asking the questions. You know what I mean? If I've always had issues with food. So if my husband, he made these little mini apple pies last night. He's so fucking cute, my Robbie. So he made these apple pies, and I am able to sit at the table with my husband and my children and take the whipped cream and be like, shit, you know what I mean? And just be like, and not feel shame because I'm enjoying this. But there was a time that every morsel of food I put in my mouth, I beat myself up over it. If I can't enjoy a piece of food without beating myself up, there is something I need to look at, sacral chakra, but there's something I need to look at. And that's all I'm saying. If you're going about your life and everything is functional, then enjoy your life. But if there are either minor or major dysfunctions, these are the questions you want to ask yourself. Would you agree?
Okay. Totally. 100%.
Okay. So we got two more. So authenticity. Oh, our favorite. Flash it on the screen. Authenticity. Okay. Is the world seeing the real me? If not, what am I afraid of? What do I believe about myself that creates reservations about bringing my true self to the world? What are my natural proclivities, my greatest gifts, the things that come most naturally to me? Am I comfortable sharing them with the world? If not, why is that? Am I truly living in alignment with the purest essence of my soul?
Ooh. Is there anything that you think, anything you hold back on, Dana?
Let's talk about what I should hold back on. But I'll tell you, here's what happens. When we're little, the things that we like, the things that are weird, again, we joke how I used to like marry the frogs and make hats for my hamster and all that stuff. And I used to do these things. But if somebody told me I was weird, if I was at school and oh my God, I was like in the second or third grade and there was a club in the playground and the girls would get to sing this stupid song, the Spring is Here song, to be a part of the club. And I sang it and they told me I was bad and wouldn't let me be in the club. I never sang again.
Oh
my God, I mouthed the words to happy birthday. Although Rob has confirmed it because I sing in the car. He's like, we don't sing. I'm like, okay, sorry. But anyway.
You can't be good at everything, Dana.
You can't be good at everything, Dana. Totally. But the point is we don't even realize how these experiences, you're weird. Oh my God, weird is bad. I heard the way they said it. Weird is bad. I will never be that part of me again because that's weird and weird is bad. What are our beliefs about ourselves? And that's what happens.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not just when you're a kid. Dave and I used to jam together.
Yep.
And Dave's a drummer and he was in a band and they did the whole performing thing and, super talented. And here I am with my acoustic and my little songwriting, doing my little thing. And I wanted to be, like a songwriter and record and all that stuff. And one time Dave made this aside comment about how my rhythm wasn't good. And coming from a drummer, and I would sing, he'd be like, yeah, you're pretty good. So I stopped playing with him.
Yeah.
And it gets in there. I was insecure. I was like, well, he's, he had this singer, Christy, she's amazing. So she's amazing. So I'm pretty good. And I'm embarrassed because I'm not amazing in his eyes. And I don't want to do that. And then I was like, well, if my rhythm sucks, well, yeah, because I play by myself. I don't use a metronome. I don't care. I'm not technical.
But see how you found yourself in a place of defensiveness.
Totally.
So
and I stopped doing something that really is like a passion of mine.
Yep. And this was something that happened to you in your probably late 30s or early 40s, right?
Late 40s.
No,
early 40s. No,
that's what I was saying, like when you guys met. So, but think about this for a second, because if your lower chakras were more stable,
which they were,
that would not, they were unstable at the time, but that would not have been an issue. Because if somebody told me now, you're weird because you like frogs, you're weird. Oh my God, fill in the blank. But you're like, weird. Duh. I'd be like, weird like a fox. You know what I mean? Like, okay, because, you know what I'm saying? So it really, if we are insecure about being our true selves, it's not about our throat chakra. It's about what is insecure that is not allowing that. Handle this, handle the beliefs surrounded around this, and then it'll be like, oh, I am also. Okay, the last one is communication. Do I communicate my thoughts, wants, and needs? Well, no. Yes. Do I? No, wait, there's more to the question. Sorry. Do I communicate my thoughts, wants, and needs respectfully? Yeah. That's that inner queen shit, right? Respectfully.
Yeah.
Do I listen to others? Do I feel heard when I speak to others? Do I express my feelings with ease?
For me, yes, now with the people in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But for the longest time, no, and no.
Yep. Because you didn't feel safe to do so.
Right. Right. So that I mean, that's a huge one, right? There are so many people I see on like social media who will like, they're like almost there, but then they don't like really get it out there, or they're two different people. Like once you start messaging them, they're totally different.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like if you feel safe once you're in a closed environment, and I get it. This is not like a judgment. You know what I mean? This is just about, are you able, because when we're able to speak what we need and communicate and connect with another human being, God, life is so beautiful. It has so much more meaning. The conversations, the relationships have so much more meaning.
Yep. The level of intimacy, and I'm not just talking about, but the level of intimacy that you have in your relationships are so much more profound, is so much more profound. Years ago, or I'm sure you've heard, oh, if you can count your friends on one hand, you're doing all right. And, in my youth, I'd be like, no, I know a billion people, I have a billion friends. But the true friendship comes from the ability to be honest with yourself, be honest with each other, have a level of intimacy, all of those things. And when you're able to do that, the relationship, because you can lean on each other, you can trust one another, you know what I mean? You uplift one another. There's so much. People have commented on social media, just in our interactions, about our relationship, your and my relationship, and how powerful it is, because we truly, all these things that we preach, we practice, and it shows in our relationships. But here's the clincher. It shows in our relationships for the other party who is willing to be as open and honest and respectful and all these things as we are. So not everybody's able to do that yet. So we cycle through a lot of friends that lack a depth to the friendship. There used to be somebody that would be in our sphere of influence that we would say on camera, on social media, this person is this, but in real life, because we see this person is this. And I personally cannot be in bed. I cannot be very close with somebody because there's those inconsistency. I'm not able. Because I'm giving this, I need this in return. So we have like three friends. We're hanging out together with our three friends, and everybody else, when they want to join the party, we're here. The door is open. There's just a cover charge.
And there is a cover charge. There is. Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Come
on. Let me check the list. I'm sorry, not a list. Go
behind the rope, please. Behind the rope, please. The authenticity rope. Oh my God. Off the rails.
But it is. No, but it is. And it's there's a part of it that's like, it may seem like we're being,
dicks.
Picky, selfish dicks, but it's true. Like when Dana and I, we are all fucking in, if you're our people, like we are all in.
Presents in the mail.
Presents in the mail. Dana will send you a Prezi, just for being awesome. But when we do face that inauthenticity, we do face that, like someone like holding back, it's not fair because we're all in, we're all like full frontal, we're taking our clothes off, figuratively. Yes. I don't think mine would be like sweeping the floor. I don't know. Not going to happen.
Anyway, continue.
But it's just not fair that we have this pure love energy, and all we want to do is receive that. Dana, like I've never had such an intimate relationship with somebody before until you. And I know, I'm like, if I liked vaginas, I'd be all in it. But I'd be like, move over, Rob, I'm coming in.
I'm good, thanks. Really don't. But go on.
I know. Like, it's just no offense to anybody. It's just not my thing.
No offense to vaginas. They're just not my thing.
Right. Oh, I just don't really like vaginas. I think
no, I'm not into vaginas. I'm not into boobs either, dude. No.
I know.
Well, anyway, the Commando. I like dudes. Moving along.
Sorry, everybody. But I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about. Let's just.
But anyway, when a relationship is inequitable, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, and
it is.
and people don't realize this. And people like to point the finger. You're bad. I'm good. You hurt me. You're the victor. I'm the victim. We like to do that, but the reality is, when two people come together to forge a relationship. It doesn't have to be apples to apples, but there has to be a sense of equity, a sense of symbiosis. And when it's not there energetically, emotionally, all these things that we talk about, then the relationship is uncomfortable. And either one of the people steps up or the relationship splits. And it's really that clinical. How's that?
That was really good. Thank you. Yeah. And so this to be able to align with people that are equitable and symbiotic in your life. They may or may not be present in your life right now. They may be, like my marriage isn't going to work because we're not symbiotic and it's not in alignment. You do this work on yourself so that you are your most authentic, true self. You let your freak flag fly. You will find the one whose freak flag matches your freak flag, and that's pretty much. You. They'll spot you. They come to you. They show up.
Yeah.
They just show up. And sometimes someone could show up because the alignment is like for like a split second, but still, and embrace it. And then accept that the alignment can shift because everyone's got their own stuff that they're going through at their own pace. But in order for you, we don't want you to feel frustrated, that you don't have these in your life right now, but do this work and just be yourself and people will find you. The same thing with business. Same thing, be true to your business, be true to your core values and all that stuff. Your customers and clients will find you.
Yeah.
It's not a digging thing. It's like a beacon, like a honing, you just find people. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I'm just not making sense
today.
Dig
me to your leader.
I'm hopped up on Tylenol. Okay, let's just wrap this shit up.
I think it's time. I'm not even pulling a card. I think we need to pull the plug. All right, let me move this because
apologies for the very long episode, you guys. Real quick. I'm so sorry, I forgot. Joe from Stop and Shop. Joe, I had such a good conversation with him yesterday. He's the sweetest kid. He's moving to Florida. So he's going to be in your neck of the woods.
Do you know where?
He told me somewhere near Orlando.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know where it is. But he's moving to Florida. He's starting his life. He's going to start a whole new life down there. But he's our people. So Joe, this is a shout out to you. You are the sweetest kid. You are going to find true love once you get yourself settled and you're going to be successful and all these wonderful things. And we just wish you the best. So mwah. Oh, and Joe said he's afraid to comment because we don't have enough comments. So he doesn't want to be the only commenter. So people, comment on our shit. Please.
Do Joe a favor. Give him the green light.
Help Joe.
Hey, Joe, I've only heard good things. Joe. So I'm just a phone call away. I know a guy who knows a guy. Okay. You ready?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's loud. What do we got?
Yay. Go ahead.
What was this one? Stay classy?
I thought it was Stay Fresh Cheese Bags.
Oh, God. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Oh my God, I think the wheels may be seeing a better day. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Thank you.